Y'all, let's talk about the hatchet wielding hitchhiker. This was a wild ride. It was very entertaining. My first thoughts while watching it, I was thinking my sympathies were with Kai because they tell you straight away that Kai killed someone 3 months after becoming famous. And so I was thinking that it was the media's fault, that they propelled him too soon and he was not ready and he was put in a situation and it was possibly an accident. That was my thinking. So halfway through the show, I was still feeling that way until they started talking about how crazy this boy was. His antics were funny, but the eventual murder was very sad, very brutal. I was not stable, and it was obvious in the interview that made him go viral, made him a viral sensation. It was obvious in that interview. There was a sweetness in that interview. So I was not prepared to learn how unstable he was, how erratic he was, how wild he acted in public. And the whole time I was thinking, it can't be because he's homeless. Homeless people don't act like that. This boy acts like a wild animal, like somebody that was raised in the wild. But we find out that his upbringing was not normal. His mother did keep him locked in his room, although she tried to come on TV and dress it up as though she was doing it for his own protection. I don't believe that, considering the cousin corroborated the story that Kai was being locked in his room and there were dark blankets over the windows. That's not normal. But the mama, she tried it. The mama also gave me pause when she was pretty much trying to justify or dismiss this crime that her son committed. She hashed it up to him being naive, trusting the wrong people, but it was not the case at all. Kai took this man out after they had been intimate twice, and he tried to lie like it was self defense. But evidence showed that he beat this man to a pulp. He stomped him out. He crushed bones in his face. But let's talk about how Kai got to the position to have access to this man. It was all due to the media. So the media saw Kai as this quirky, funny, cute little white boy that they could put on TV and make money off of. It was so intense that they were willing to give him his own reality TV show just off the strength of him being funny and being a hero. But let's talk about the hero aspect of it. He brutally attacked a man, like brutally attacked a man. And that's what made him famous. But they overlooked that because they saw him as a cash cow. And this was in 2013. This was the start of the reality TV craze. So they were looking for the next best thing to put on TV. So the journalist that discovered Kai, his name is Jessup, I believe. Jessup just gave me the icks because I felt like he was really just trying to milk this and trying to position himself to benefit from Kai's fame. I did not like Jessup. I did not like his involvement in connecting Kai with all of these opportunities. Um he monopolized Kai in a way that he was the only one that had contact information for Kai. So he was playing the middleman. It almost gave he wanted to be the agent or the manager. Like he saw Kai going places and he wanted to be there. So anyway, he interviews Kai right after the incident. He gets this footage, he uploads it, it goes viral, but it does not stop there. He continues to interview Kai. And I'm like, for what purposes? It's not news. What are you doing now? You are transitioning from news to reality TV or to a documentary? Like what are you doing? You are a journalist. Why do you have all this footage of Kai? And the crazy part is his producer or his boss at the news station was encouraging him to do this, to follow Kai around and record him. Now, what made me sick to my stomach is Kai was divulging a lot of personal information to Jessup in these interviews that should have gave Jessup enough insight to realize this boy ain't stable. Maybe we should not be trying to put him in the spotlight. Maybe we should not be putting him in positions where he now has fans. People are idolizing and glorifying him. Maybe we shouldn't do that. But no, it did not occur to Jessup at any point. He continued to assist Kai in getting in contact with all of these Hollywood slash entertainment folks that wanted him on their shows. So Kai makes it to Jimmy Kimmel. Mm, mm, mm. And when I tell you it was a hot mess, I was just holding my breath. I didn't know what was going to go down while he was on Kimmel. He finally is able to record the show. He gets out of the car and he urinates on Jimmy Kimmel's sign outside of the studio. Once he makes it inside, he is then rewarded with $500 in this envelope that he then gives to the security guard as an apology for urinating on the sign. Once in the studio, he records with Kimmel, and I'm just thinking this could go any kind of way. Who knows how this is going to go? But Kimmel, to his credit, he was able to reel it in and distract Kai, and it made for a good show. I think it was. I think it was entertaining. Entertaining. It was funny. Um, but Kimmel did not stop there. He brought the guy back for another show, but I don't think it ever aired because Kai was too erratic. He couldn't focus. This boy was drinking, he was doing drugs, he was crazy. I'll say this. The reality TV producer that was interested in giving him his reality TV show about homelessness, let's- she felt like this would this would be a good idea because it had never been done before, and not to draw attention and awareness to homelessness, but to exploit it and make a dollar off of it. But back to her. She was initially interested in doing this show with Kai, until I guess he freaked her out just a little bit too much. But I'm gonna tell you, it took a lot to freak her out for her to finally back off because she was all about getting him on Kimmel so that he would have additional exposure that could be transferred to the reality TV show that she wanted to make with Kai. But she realized Kai did not have the attention span, the sanity, decency to even be still long enough to shoot this show, and she backed away. She started to feel unsafe around Kai. So anyway, he is famous now. He's been on Kimmel. He's viral on YouTube. He has fans. Justin Bieber wants to work with him. Um, and now Kai is just moving about, just living off the land, literally. Like his fans are giving him things. His fans are allowing him to sleep on their couch, their porch, whatever. Kai is on the move. Kai is living the life. Everybody loves him. He's a hero. I think he soon realized that he could barter sex for the things he needed. And I think that's how he survived on the streets. Also believe that Kai in his head, after every sexual encounter with the man, I think Kai in his head told himself it was right. So weird. So this is Kai's victim. And in fighting him off, he stumped this man's head in. He brutally attacked this man. It was a mess. And so the cops were not buying this. There was no struggle. It was just a freaking beatdown. So after his arrest, you have people like Jessup, the original journalist that discovered Kai, just in disbelief. There's no way he could do this. And I'm like, WTF, you knew how dark this boy was. He opened up to you about a lot of dark stuff. What do you mean you can't see him doing this? And then you have like the producers from Kimmel that he's trying to understand or trying to figure out if he played a role in this. Ultimately, he don't think he did, but of course you did. You put this man on Jimmy Kimmel. You gave him exposure. You gave him access to people and things, and he's able to move around and get to New York and New Jersey, where he ends up often this poor man. Now, I believe Kai would have killed someone eventually if he hadn't already and gotten away with it. Um, but that particular man, I think he would have been spared because I don't think Kai would have had been able to make it to New Jersey. Kai was a Californian. He was the surfer dude. He would not have had the access and ability to move around like he did if it were not for the fans, because he was using them too, getting what he wanted out of them. So now Kai's in jail, prison. He was sentenced to 57 years for this man's murder. Um, I read somewhere that fans were actually trying to raise money, or initially were trying to raise money for his legal defense. It's a crazy story, y'all. I suggest you watch it. It is very entertaining in a cringy kind of way, but it just tells the story of where we are as a society where we make any and everybody famous. It don't take much to be famous. Cause look at this guy. He became famous for brutally attacking a man with a hatchet, a man that he had been riding with for hours because he was hitchhiking. The man picked him up and he had been in the car with him for hours. But the guy was attacking a woman, and his answer was to jump out with his hatchet and beat the crap out of him. And that is what made him famous. It's crazy here. It's crazy on planet Earth. And this is back in 2013. I can imagine the type of crap that has happened in the last 5 to 7 years that I'm not aware of that will probably eventually make a documentary about on Netflix. Child, hate to see it. Anyway, if y'all watch this documentary, let me know what you think. It's a wild one. Thank you for watching. Come back.